You know, have you ever really stopped to think about certain words? How some of them just feel different, like they're holding onto a secret, right there in the way they sound. It all boils down to this really cool idea that some words don't just mean something. They actually sound like what they mean. Seriously, they're like little echoes of the real world, captured and tucked away right inside our language. Just think about it for a second. Like take the word buzz, or the word splash when you throw a rock into a lake, or that big jarring crash when something falls. See? These aren't just random letters strung together. They're like mini stories told completely through sound. And yeah, there's a name for this whole amazing thing: automatopoeia. It's this incredible sweet spot where language literally mimics life. So in this explainer, we're going to dig into how these sound words totally shape our world, from the way our brains are wired to the stories we can't stop telling. All right, so first things first, let's really break this down. What is it that makes a word an echo of reality? Let's get into the anatomy of these things. So if you want the formal definition, automatopoeia is just the word that imitates a sound. But I love this other way of thinking about it. They're like acoustic mirrors. They're not just describing a sound, they're literally reflecting it back at you. It's a direct copy in word form. And believe me, once you start looking, you see these sound words everywhere. They cover this huge universe of experiences. I mean, you've got animal sounds, right? Your classic meow and roar. Then there's all the mechanical stuff from our daily lives, the click of a mouse, the buzz of your phone. They even capture the quiet things in nature, like the rustle of leaves. And, of course, those sudden impact sounds, like a bang or a pop. Okay, so we know what they are, but the real question is, why? Why do they hit us so hard? Well, to figure that out, we've got to look inside our own brains. Let me ask you this, and just think about it for a sec. Why does the word buzz feel so completely different from the word bang? I mean, they're both short, simple words for sounds, but they give you totally different vibes, right? Well, it all comes down to this fascinating idea called sound symbolism. The cool thing is, our brains are literally hardwired to connect the physical shape of a sound to what it means. When you say buzz, that zzz part just keeps going. It vibrates, just like the sound of a bee. But bang? That's a short, explosive word. It starts and stops, bam, just like that. So your brain isn't just getting the definition, it's actually feeling the shape of the sound. And this whole sound-meaning connection, it's not just some weird brain quirk. Oh no, it's actually a massive part of how we create and communicate with each other. It shapes our art, our stories, even our cultures. Okay, here's a perfect example. Let's take a rooster's crow. In English, we all know it as cock-a-doodle-doo. Simple enough. But in Japan, they hear it as koke-koko. And in Hindi, it's kukdoku. Now, it's the exact same sound from the exact same bird, but everyone's translating it through their own unique language filter. It just goes to show you, while we all hear the same world, the way we put it into words is totally cultural. And of course, you know who loves this stuff? Writers and poets. They use it all the time to build these incredibly vivid worlds. I mean, when you read a sentence like, "The fire crackled, the rain pattered, and the wind whistled," you're not just reading words on a page. You can actually hear that scene. You can feel it. It takes plain old text and turns it into this full-blown sensory experience. But then you've got comic books, and they take this to a whole other level. Onomatopoeia becomes part of the artwork itself. You get these huge, explosive words. Bam, pow, zap. They're not just describing the punch. They are the punch. They literally make sound visible, and it's just packed with energy. All right, so we've looked at what these words are, how our brains get them, and how we use them to create amazing art. But the final piece of this puzzle, well, it's the biggest one yet. It takes us all the way back to the dawn of human language. When you boil it all down, it's this really simple but powerful process. Step 1, you hear a sound out in the world. Step 2, you find a word that copies that sound. You give it a name. And then, step 3, you use that word to build a story, to share what you experienced. That's it. That's the fundamental way we make sense of everything around us. And this leads to a really mind-blowing idea. Onomatopoeia isn't just some clever trick for writers. It's like a living fossil, right here in our everyday language. It's proof that way, way back, before we had all this complex grammar and big abstract ideas, our very first words were probably just us imitating the world. The rustle of the leaves, the crash of a wave, the call of an animal.
So that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about, doesn't it? If our language literally grew out of listening really, really carefully to the world, what are we forgetting to listen to today? What stories is the world trying to tell us right now that maybe we've just tuned out?